Hey there, how there, ho there, Chef Cutter Diamond welcome you to another second and 10 football video. This is not to do with any NCAA or NFL tourney. This has to do with a tribute game. As you can see the title, well, it says the Sonny Jurgensen tribute game. February the 6th, between the 1972 Washington Redskins and the 1960 Philadelphia Eagles. There's our main reason why. Poof. This guy, Sonny Jurgensen. Born August 23rd, 1934, died today, February 6, 2026, at age 91 in Naples, Florida. He played 18 years for both the Eagles and Redskins. He played college football for Duke and was Hall of Famer since 1983. So he decided, well, he was a North Carolina guy, and then he went to Duke. When you think about college football and North Carolina, you think about NC or NC State. You know, North Carolina with LT, NC State with Philip Rivers. You don't really think of any legendary Duke players. I mean, maybe there were a few guys from Duke, but yeah, Duke is known for their basketball more so than football. And I think you can't think of anyone more legendary at Duke than Sonny Jurgensen. Anyway, he was a backup in 1954. Well, in 1953, he attended Duke, but rules before 1970 were that no freshmen on the varsity squad. So yeah, he was the backup to Jerry Barger. And then he became a defensive back. Well, obviously, when you play both offense and defense in the NFL, in college football. Like there was two-way players. He was there. He had 5 interceptions and helped Duke get to the 1955 Orange Bowl, which they beat Nebraska 34-7. And in most days, most conferences only allowed one team per conference to be in a bowl game. Remember, it's not the 36, no, so the 40 Bowl Fest that you see today is usually 5 or 6. He became the starting quarterback in 1955 and still was playing in the defensive secondary. Duke could have went to the Orange Bowl, but they failed. Maryland was the co-champs and got the trip to the Orange Bowl. Jurgensen would only throw 3 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, but you pass out of necessity. In his senior season, Duke ended up losing to South Carolina for the first time in the ACC. They ended up 5-4-1, couldn't make a bowl game, and all that. So yeah, in the 1957 NFL draft, the draft that had Jim Brown in it, Sonny Jurgensen was selected in the fourth round by the Philadelphia Eagles. Now let's take a look at all the quarterbacks drafted before Jurgensen. Well, there were two in the first round. Stanford took John Brody from Stanford, who died, I think, last week, wasn't it? Last week or the week before? Yeah, John Brody was the guy who passed away a couple weeks ago, and he was actually He was actually a great player for the San Francisco 49ers all time, and he got to be the color commentator alongside Don Criqui at the Epic in Miami. Len Dawson was picked fifth overall by Pittsburgh, but they basically passed on him in a sense. So Steelers had both Len Dawson and Johnny Unitas in their hands, and they let them go. Brutal mistake, and the Steelers were a shitty franchise. In the second round, Cleveland took Milt Plum from Penn State. It actually worked out. He was decent for them. In the third round, the Bears took Ronnie Knox from UCLA. That didn't work out. And in the fourth round, Jurgensen was there. Bobby Cox, not the baseball manager, but the player from Minnesota. And then Jurgensen went to the Eagles 43rd. He was the backup to Bobby Thomason in his first year, and then Norm Van Brocklin came over from the Rams to the Eagles. He was part of a quarterback controversy with Bob Waterfield. But anyway, Jurgensen was the backup and helped the Eagles win the 1960 NFL championship. Of course, this was before the Super Bowl. He was the holder for field goals and extra points. He didn't play quarterback in any playoff games. He became the starter after Van Brocklin retired after the 61 season, having 32 touchdown passes, which was the NFL record for some time, with over 3,700 passing yards. So you knew he could do it. And then Philly, for some dumb reason, decided to trade him to Washington for Norm Snead. And it blew up in their faces. Jurgensen would be huge for the Washington Redskins. In 1967, he set the record for most passing yards in the season with 3,747 and had 288 completions. Unfortunately, though, injuries would hamper him during the 68 season, and he would have to have chronic pain in the elbow because of calcium deposits. So, anyway, Jurgensen was there when Vince Lombardi took over as quarterback for Washington. And, you know, Washington would have a resurgence. By the early 70s, when George Allen became the head coach, the Redskins made it as far as Super Bowl 7, losing to Miami. He was not the starting quarterback for those teams. It was Billy Kilmer. There was actually a quarterback controversy. I love Billy or I love Sonny. That's right. NFL Top 10 did the Top 10 quarter controversies, and Jurgensen and Kilmer were there too. George Allen preferred Kilmer's conservative ball control play to Jurgensen's more high risk approach. Jurgensen actually was helping Kilmer out. And, before Billy Kilmer died, he still stayed at Jurgensen's house when he was in town. Jurgensen would win a passing crown at age 40, which is amazing because that's the year I'm 40 myself. He only made, in his first and only postseason game ever, the Redskins lost to the Rams in the first round of the 74 playoffs. They said he was a good pure passer and all that. So he's looking at his Philly and Washington stats. 218 games, 147 starts, 32,224 passing yards, 255 touchdowns, 189 interceptions. Not bad. For his broadcasting career, he actually became color commentator with CBS and then went to radio alongside Sam Huff. Anyway, Jurgensen would cover Washington from 94 to 2008 when on WRC TV when the Redskins report was canceled due to budget cuts. All that, he would have 4 sons with 2 different women and died at age 91. Washington retired his number 9 jersey at the end of the 2022 season. Well deserved. I mean, where was this? And Philly will be wrecking it. So anyway, we do the 1972 Redskins and the 1960 Phillies as the tribute game. Just to let you know that we are going to do the full game, all 4 quarters, every play, because with Sonny Jurgensen, I'm going to make him the starter on both sides. Because I want to see how good Jurgensen would have been if he was the starter for the 72 Redskins and the 1960 Eagles. Here we go. Okay, here we go. Walter Rod, Paul Levy, Glenn Hawes, John Wilbert, and Terry Hummer for the Eagles. They have Joe Robb, Ed Kayak, Jesse Richardson, Marion Campbell, future coach of the Falcons. And the linebackers, Chuck Bernard, the legend that he is, the two-way player. Maxie Bowen and Chuck Weaver, deep defensive backs. Former CBSer Tom Brookshire, Bobby Freeman, Don Burrows, and Jimmy Carr, not the
First down.
Kirker, Nottingham Kirk, and Kirk was in all of 8, and Jack Pardee became the head coach for the Houston Oilers. And that, in 1980, Mike Bass, Josie Taylor, Greg Owens, and Pat Fisher coaching. Major primary coach was Jared Blackburn.
First down. First down. First down.
Touchdown, Eagles. This is good. Flag on the play.
Holding. Receiving team.
Flag on the play.
Holding. Offense. First down. Pitching foul. Defense. First down.
Touchdown, Eagles. It's good.
First down.
Flag on the play.
Holding. Offense.
Ooh, that hurt.
First down. First down. First down.
Start the second half. Philly Jurgensen, 7 for 12, 109 touchdown pick. Washington Jurgensen, 6 for 10, 55 yards. Cage for a touchdown. Jurgensen, rest of the touchdown. Third down, 2 yards. 38.
First down. First down.
Flag on the play.
Offsides. Offense. First down. First down. First down.
It's going to continue. Browns as Browns.
Touchdown, Redskins. It's good.
First down. First down. First down.
Yeah, Washington did that too.
Timeout offense.
Touchdown, Redskins.
He's good. First down. First down. First down.
Touchdown, Eagles. It's good.
First down. First down. First down. First down. First down.
Touchdown, Eagles. Flag on the play.
Offsides. Kicking team. First down.
Flag on the play.
Delay of game. Offense. First down. First down.
Touchdown. Redskins.
Sonny for Washington, 244 yards, 3 touchdowns. What a second half he had. And Pascal Jurgensen for a touchdown. Philly, the only thing they were better than Washington was taking 1 penalty, and Washington took 6. Box score, Jurgensen, Philly Jurgensen, 18 for 32, 32 touchdowns and a pick. Larry Brown, 117 running for Washington. Washington Jurgensen, 19 for 25, 244, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. So yeah, Jurgensen went right through everyone, all that. Those touchdown passes. But Philly Jurgensen almost won the game. So, but yeah, the steady state. Washington went 34-28. Philly, it's piss. They sure do. That's what happens if Washington wins, but in overtime. So Washington Jurgensen beats Philly Jurgensen 34-28. Nice second half for Washington. Philly, not too happy about it. But anyway, RIP Sonny Jurgensen nevertheless. Anyway, I'm Jeff Diamond. Adieu.